Hey guys, welcome to this upload for you guys today. Now I just want to say I wanted to talk about this before as well. Obviously the main focus why you've tuned in is, well, technically a few things in fact I want to talk about. First and foremost, right? How to put this without offending anyone. Right? John Cena versus AJ Styles at Crown Jewel was not made by fans. It was not made for the fans. It was to make them money. To basically get tickets sold. That's the main reason why they've done this for Crown Jewel. And all I've seen is videos on TikTok, see on YouTube videos, see on Facebook posts, Instagram posts, X posts saying, "Oh my God, WWE and TKO actually listen to us." Are you fucking for real? Are you right in the head to think that? Right? Because it's weird. Stop being weird, IWC. They put it on to fucking sell tickets. Because if this was such a big thing, even though, yeah, they've had bangers of matches over the years. But they've done it to sell tickets, guys. Not to fucking please you. I don't get it. Right? I really don't get it. I still don't get why John Cena's retiring in December, not WrestleMania 42. Right? I've said this for numerous months now. I've said this since he announced his retirement. It's going to be the last one of this year. The word's gone barking fucking mad to think they were the reasons why they put this match on. I'm not being funny. Okay, fair enough. If they were going to listen to you, they would lower the ticket prices to make it affordable again. Not because of one match. This is going to make them money either way. Right? It just bugs me. It really bugs me when people are thinking one trick mind, like, as soon as John Cena puts a teaser out, oh, wait a minute, let's get all the fans involved. And then you've got it. They've announced it over a tweet. Couldn't they just wait till like a Raw or SmackDown? Or just the way AJ Styles has been recently in the WWE, the way he's been misused and so on. He preached a pipe bomb. It could have been leading to this. They could have easily, if you wanted to save John Cena's 5 last appearances, you could have easily had this. You could have easily had this as AJ Styles coming out every single week, dropping a pipe bomb, and I want John Cena. I want John Cena. Music hits, it doesn't come out. Because he'd probably be still battered from the Brock Lesnar match. Now you're sweeping that under the rug, act like that never happened. Because there's no repercussions for it. Because technically there is needed repercussions for it. But they didn't need that. They could have had the squash match of his last match. It would have made more sense. In my head it does. But stop thinking that WWE are listening to the fans when you get a match that people want to see. No. It doesn't work that way this day and age. You know? It's their business fucking plan. Their business strategy of doing this. They're doing this out of the blue with no build whatsoever. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. But you could have easily built it week by week. But you could have easily say, oh, John Cena's retirement towards the build. No, you need a bit of a backstory if you're making this worthwhile. Right? And you put it on Crown Jewel in Australia. Of all places. Just to sell tickets, because by the looks of it, there's been no reports of ticket sales from this event yet. Beforehand. You know, you're just doing it to sell more tickets. You know? That's why I feel like they're going to end up putting Roman Reigns on the card. You know, he's only just round the corner from it, matter of speaking. Because he's filming Street Fighter at the moment. Stop thinking WWE is listening to you. They are not listening to you. You know? You should see the outcry about people saying how expensive WrestleMania tickets are being bought, but they're still being bought. But not as fast as they normally are. Because I know people that have been like in queues for when they first launch for hours upon hours, if not a few hours, if they're lucky, waiting to get in and saying, sorry, that ticket's gone. Sorry, that ticket's gone. They go on today. After when they've been on sale, you can get straight through. They went straight through to the place where instead of queuing, they literally clicked onto it, straight loads up. This is the problem with the internet. People think what's on the internet is gold and what has been said. Matter of speaking, I know I'm speaking on the internet. But the thing is with these WrestleMania tickets, yes, they're far, far expensive. Don't get me wrong. The fees are expensive. Don't get me wrong. But it really frustrates me when people want to praise the hell out of this product, but when it comes to a ticket price, they don't like the look of it. And WWE is rarely listening to the fans. Bullshit. Don't give me that crap. They don't listen to anyone. Then my other focus I want to say, NXT versus TNA. I predicted this months ago over on TikTok. I never thought I'd be doing a video talking about TNA as well as NXT in the same light. I did this like when literally the deal was actually first signed. This was way before this channel was even born. I was waiting for the trigger point. I thought they would have done it sooner. I feel like this is the start of the decline of that deal toward them being bought out. But the problem where I find really frustrating is about it already. They did the invasion sort of the Nexus sort of style towards it. Yes, fair enough, Santana's a focal point of it. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Santana. But you don't need Matt Cardona, formerly Zack Ryder. You don't need Xavier Brookside. I was trying to see who else was actually on those certain things. But you don't need those wrestlers because wouldn't you have thought this would have been a lot logical sense, right? If you were bringing former WWE guys that have gone to TNA, wouldn't you have thought they would have latched on and just saying, we're invading this to take back what was ours? You know, their job. They're taking because everyone else is like being the focus point of today's NXT. But what about the people that you've intertwined it? It doesn't make any sense using those. That's why I'm so against them using ex-WWE stars. Because TNA got shit for many years for signing WWE stars. And they still do it now and again. They recently brought Mr. Anderson back, Mr. Kennedy, who's known in WWE. Nothing against it, but you don't need to use... When people say to me there's about 60% of the roster in TNA at the moment some way or form is working for WWE, well, use the 40 that doesn't. You know? If you're going to do this, are you going to use AJ Styles in the storyline? Because you took him back to TNA in the past. You know? Interacted with Liam Slater. You make you wonder, other than what he said about Liam Slater, wonder what he's building up to. You need to involve him some way or form. Not just focus on him having a match in John Cena. It could be the starting point of this. I'm hoping it's building up to something amazing. You know, and it really frustrates me when you've actually used former WWE guys. You know, if you're going to use them and just say that line, we're going to take back what was ours, what should have been ours, or something like that. It will make sense doing it that way. But if you're not, you're not. So, what I want to actually say to you guys is that I've still not watched the product. I only get clips on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook and everything. I take my own assumptions from that. That does me. I'm not actually supporting the product. I'm just giving you some insight of my headspace, how I feel, the way it's gone. You know, you've got a golden opportunity to make something golden here because you're not giving it on the main roster. And that's saying something. You've got the talent to be there on the main roster. You need the same passion and drive and determination to make it a success when you had Ruthless Aggression era. Yes, WWE bought out the competition back then when they had the likes of ECW and WCW rivaling them in the 2000s. When it came to 2001, those companies ceased to exist, went under one umbrella. Then they got bored of themselves and then they made themselves rival themselves. That's what I mean. I miss that sort of passion and drive and determination to make it work. With the wrestlers you got today, I feel like looking back on some of the wrestlers you had in the Ruthless Aggression era was unutilized, similar to what today is. That's why I feel like when you look at the pay-per-views, when it comes, or the PLEs, whatever you want to class it as, 5 matches ain't enough for the size of the roster you've got on SmackDown, Raw. You've got a far superior roster there. And I don't feel like when I look at certain divisions, you might want to say, the world title picture, the WWE Championship, the Intercontinental, you got that many wrestlers, you don't know what to do with them. That's why I feel like WWE's in a mess, and that's why I fell out in love with the product. It's meh, it's mediocre. You know? I'm watching my mate Ollie Harper that basically went to Raw when was it? A month ago. He went to them. I could just tell by watching his vlogs, it just felt like a glorified house show. It didn't feel like, even though he's doing it in parts, don't get me wrong, I respect the guy, what he's doing on his channel. You know, he admitted it when we talked about WrestleMania, that how it influenced him to do YouTube videos. Yes, he's got far superior reviews on he's double mine what on my vlog channel. He's got a hell of a lot compared to here, but I admire his drive when he gets going. You know. And when I look at that clips from that Raw that he went to in Birmingham, felt like a glorified house show. You know, the thing is, he shows his passion in his videos. I felt like he felt disheartened when he was putting that together. But he wants to put it together. He don't want to let you guys down, even though he's been busy. So give the guy a break, give him some slack. You know, I do respect him like family. You know, that's why I say wrestling's a family. You know, certain members that I know and I've grown to trust and respect, you know, and Ollie's one of them, Paddy's one of them, Luke's one of them. Anyone that I do interact with, I've grown the trust over the years. Even my TikTok family, even though they don't do YouTube videos as such, but some do. You know, that's what I mean. I respect them because they helped me build the bridge into professional wrestling to talk about it. But when WWE does not have that passion anymore, I feel like Ollie's faded away from it. No matter how much people will try and say to him how Mania is going to be good and all that lot, I don't think it will be. Because I feel like it's going to be controlled by Saudi Arabia. That's just an inkling how it's going to be. Because don't forget they've got the Royal Rumble. They are deciding who's going to be the main event of WrestleMania next year. And we're not going to see those probably titles defended anytime soon afterwards. You know, they're probably going to have that running up to Mania when they have it. In 2027. That's what I mean. It's like when people think something's golden there, I'll tell you straight. I would say if they do it right, I think that could be the best storyline they've actually got in 2025 so far. And it's only just started, but I just don't want them to mess it up and fumble it. But they've already done it, brought in back the former WWE guys if they're not going to fucking do it. You know, the one thing that really frustrates me the most, right? I've gone on social media, and all I see is WWE tribalism running rife yet again. But they don't even watch the fucking product. This is what makes me fucking laugh. When it comes to the likes of WWE, I mean AEW, sorry, they just latch on what they've seen, what people are talking about. When you saw the interaction with Christian Cage and Adam Copeland last night, he says, "Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this to my family and all that lot again. Oh, this, oh that. I think I have to leave," and then he leaves. Even though there was a handshake between Christian and all that lot, turn around and says, "Don't worry, you've always got a family in me." And you know, that was nice. But the last bit when he left, now you got these tribalist people saying, "Oh, we're gonna get John Cena versus Edge. Oh, Edge has left AEW, he's coming back to WWE." And I'm thinking, for fuck's sake, do you ever watch the product? I'm not being funny. Edge I think he's in his 50s now. Could be wrong. Could be right. But he's not going back to WWE, guys. Sorry to break it to you. He's not. It's a storyline. That's what I've got to say to you. It's a storyline, and people laugh. It annoys the fuck out of me when people are pointing fingers and saying, "Ha ha, AEW's lost Edge now." I've seen this like since it happened last night, and I didn't talk about it on my last video. I didn't want to take the focus off the women, Mara speaking. You know, and it baffles me. There's no reason because they're going by the teaser towards what Edge or Adam Copeland, whatever you want to class him as, done at All Out. Another. You worry me. Right? You criticised AEW signing older guys. So far you want Chris Jericho back. So far you want Edge back. So you want those back to take over the focus off the wrestlers that are already misused as it is. Right? Fair enough. They made Stephanie Valkyria the Women's World Champion. Job well done, WWE. You've done something right. But is it too early? But it's never too early, because at the moment I feel like the way they're treating the women and in the WWE is far less than other companies, and that's just me being honest. And that's not just me saying because I'm an AEW fanboy. I'm not saying it because of that. I'm saying there's two far superior wrestling companies that support women's wrestling, not just use them as tits and ass. You know? But this is just me being honest with you. That you criticised AEW signing old guys. You hated AEW because they signed CM Punk. You hated CM Punk. And then he goes back to WWE. Oh, you love him again. CM Punk has been shit since he's been back. Yes, he's had banger of matches. But this run of CM Punk has not been that great. You know? And they really want to build him up towards having the world title. You could have done this in his young career, not what you've done since he's been back. You know? The talent they've got, they don't need any more. Quite honestly, they do not need any more. They bought out AAA, they're buying out TNA. They just don't need any more. They released Andrade because he can't grasp the English language. But the art of professional wrestling is in the ring mainly. Have you forgotten that? If you were that bad against him, send him to AAA. Oh, wait a minute, you want them to learn English? Then he's screwed. You know? So you let a talented guy being released from a company because he can't grasp the English language. Art of professional wrestling is not all about speaking, it's what mainly happens in the ring and the outcomes. If this was the case and what has been going round, why did you hire him years ago then? Why did you hire him in the first place? Why did you rehire him in the first place? I feel like the reason why he's technically gone is because of Charlotte. And that's just me being honest. This is not me technically pointing fingers because they've recently divorced. But give me a break with the fucking Edge fucking stuff. You sicken me, world. You sicken me.